Stacy, on your side, do you see any attendees in the session at the moment?
I do not.
Okay, just want to make sure I was seeing things as you are. What I can go ahead and do, Stacy, would you like me to go ahead and introduce us and get us all started?
Yeah, that would be great.
Wonderful. All right. So for any of those who are joining us today, we're doing our virtual college exploration for all students of Indiana. So we're so excited to have them with us. For anybody who joins, we're going to allow for you to ask questions. If you'd like to ask questions, the Q&A box is open and ready for you to do so. You can also, or we're asking that you also turn off your cameras and your microphones so that you can hear our fabulous presenters this evening talk about their school and give their information. We'd like to encourage you to sign up for more sessions as this proceeds. The opportunity to meet and hear from our professionals in the college side is a really exciting offer that we have, and we hope that you go and check out the schedule at inacac.org/virtual college exploration. This recording will be available, so you are actually able to see this recording at another point in time if you were unable to get this session today. But with all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off to Stacy and to Kristen to tell you more about their wonderful university.
Thank you so much. Let me take over screen sharing here. Perfect. Thank you so much. My name is Stacy Oliver, and I serve as a regional recruitment manager at Ohio University. So I am based in Chicago, and I work with students throughout Chicago, the state of Illinois, and the western part of Indiana. I'm joined tonight by Kristen Eads, who's an admission advisor in our Ohio University-based office, and she works with students on the eastern side of Indiana, including the Indianapolis metropolitan area. So we are going to spend some time this evening talking to you about Ohio University and where it fits in on the spectrum of colleges and universities that you're considering. Kristen is standing by to answer questions in the Q&A, so feel free to pop those questions in as we go along, and let's jump right in. So as we get started, we will first take a look at Athens, the home of Ohio University, and give you some additional context for Athens and what makes it such a special place. Ohio University is located in Athens, Ohio, which is in the southeastern part of the state. It's situated in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, which is just a really beautiful part of the country with rolling hills and clear skies. I always like to say that it's hard to get a bad picture of Athens, Ohio, because most days look like the ones that you'll see featured in the photographs throughout our presentation this evening. Athens is a fun and funky place with its own vibe. It's ranked in the top 100 art communities in America, and it was established specifically to be the home of Ohio University. So as you think about other college and university towns, they're often founded to support the university that's already there, and we're the opposite. Athens was founded with the intention that a university would be established there later, and so about 7 years after Athens was established, the university was founded. What that means for you more than 200 years later is that the leaders of the city and of the university work hand in hand to create a blended living learning experience for students. We all have a shared goal of creating the best college experience for Ohio University students, and that's felt in the way that the university and city are able to partner together. USA Today recently named Athens the best college small town, in part because of that collaborative spirit and energy. We are home to an incredible retail area that's adjacent to campus. So the photo that you're looking at right now is what we call Court Street, which is our main kind of retail, shopping and dining. There you'll find some familiar restaurant names, including a Starbucks, a Chipotle, but you'll also find plenty of local options that we hope that students will take advantage of and explore during their time as a student. Southeastern Ohio also has plenty of outdoor recreation to explore, including the Hocking-Adena Bikeway, which is a 21-mile bike path that runs parallel to the Hocking River just on the edge of campus. And we're also very close to the Wayne National Forest, where you'll find hiking and waterfalls to explore. And the Hocking Hills Recreation Region is nearby, where you'll find additional camping and hiking. So students often tell us that they have a hard time justifying staying in on any given night because there's always something to do in Athens or the surrounding area. Athens has a unique history, as does Ohio University, because we've been a university for more than 216 years. But as we think about our history, the thing that we're most excited about is our future and the way that students fit into that future. We have a rich history and a long legacy. We were the first college in the state of Ohio, so you'll often hear us referred to as Ohio's first and finest. We graduated the fourth African-American student in the United States in 1828. That's John Newton Templeton, and that was 25 years before the Emancipation Proclamation. Our commitment to creating accessible, inclusive education is a hallmark of the Ohio University experience, and so we like to highlight John Newton Templeton as a historical example, but there are plenty of contemporary examples of the ways that we support students and bring in students from marginalized or different identity-based groups or cultures, and make sure that their transition to the university is successful and that they find their place where they can fit and flourish at Ohio University. We are large enough and comprehensive enough to have a portfolio of major research. We have nearly 23,000 students on our main campus, which includes our students who are pursuing bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, doctorates, and even medical degrees. Institution-wide, we have more than 11 regional campuses and centers that extend the reach of Ohio University throughout the state. Institution-wide, you'll find more than 33,000 students. Ohio University is a name that people recognize for its world-class education, and we deliver that education in a way that's personal enough that allows students to become whatever it is they want to be. And at Ohio University, your transition and transformation starts in the classroom. I mentioned that personalized experience, and that's something that we're incredibly proud of. Our students choose to major in more than 250 academic majors. We have a strong focus on undergraduate research, and students are able to get involved in research as early as their first semester on campus. We know that having the opportunity to get your hands on with research or publishing or even broadcast production can make all the difference in the way that you learn. And being able to choose from more than 250 majors is important because you're going to be able to create the academic experience that most uniquely positions you for life after graduation. So among those 250 majors, you'll find things that fit in with your strengths and your goals. You'll be able to combine majors so that you can double major and graduate with 2 degrees. You can also add minors and certificates. When you think about your steps after Ohio University, you can think about how you'll stand out from other people applying for jobs or applying for graduate schools. We have a 16-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our average class size is about 30 students. We think that it's important that students learn from faculty members who are content experts in their field, and that you're able to engage not only with the course material, but also with your classmates and those faculty members. You'll find this is a place where faculty want to be in front of the classroom. They come here to teach. 90% of our courses are taught by faculty and university administrators. So as you compare Ohio University to other institutions our size, you may find more classes taught by graduate students or even seniors who are teaching assistants. We just think it's too valuable that you get to interact with those faculty members who become your mentors and who can then help you as you prepare for those next steps after graduation. We do have two distinct honors experiences at Ohio University. For 50 years, we've been home to one of the top-ranked honors colleges in the nation. Our honors tutorial college is modeled after the Cambridge and Oxford University models, and it delivers our curriculum in a very specialized format for nearly 40 academic programs. Students in the honors tutorial college study one-on-one with faculty and within small groups. It's a highly competitive program, and it's set the bar for tutorial education in America. And then building on the success of our honors tutorial college and making the honors experience attainable to a larger group of students, we welcomed our second class of the Ohio Honors Program this fall. The Ohio Honors Program functions in addition to the Honors Tutorial College and is available to students in all majors. So where the Honors Tutorial College was only available to students in 40 very specific academic programs, this allows any student to take their academic major and enhance it with the honors experience. Students who are selected for the Ohio Honors Program participate in both curricular and co-curricular learning pathways. And the Ohio Honors Program offers academically talented students the ability to go beyond their course requirements to study in an even more engaging way. Students who are selected for the Ohio Honors Program have access to dedicated honors and scholars housing, which is currently located on East Green. This allows students to study and live together, creating a true blended living learning experience. Students also receive priority registration for classes. This is important because it lets students choose the section of a class that best fits into their schedule to allow them time in a lab or a studio. It also means that they can better connect with a faculty member who they're interested in their research or area of study. Honors students also receive specialized advising that complements their standard academic advising, and they have opportunities to engage with university and community leaders, building relationships that become references, letters of recommendation, or even internships. Ohio is an active and engaged campus, and we know that what students do outside of the classroom is what truly rounds out their education. We're home to more than 600 active student organizations, and at Ohio University, you'll find organizations that tie back to your academic experience. So for example, if you're thinking about studying a major in our Russ College of Engineering and Technology, you'll find majors that specifically support what you're learning academically, but in a co-curricular environment, like our competitive aviation team. We also have organizations that exist purely for fun and recreation, like more than 40 chapters of fraternity and sorority life, musical groups. The Hammock Appreciation Club is growing in popularity. We know that what sets our student organization involvement apart is the way that we're thoughtful and intentional about creating leadership opportunities. Within these organizations, you learn things like managing time, people, projects, and even budgets. And these are skills that employers want. We're also home to 16 NCAA Division I teams, and we have an immense amount of school spirit around those varsity athletic events. We think it's important that students be able to cheer on members of the community, and so students can attend any varsity athletic event at no additional cost. So we're never going to ask you to purchase a ticket or to think about a season ticket package. It's as easy as waking up on a Saturday morning, deciding that you want to see the men's football team play and catch the world-renowned Marching 110 perform at halftime, and you just need to head over to the stadium with your student ID. We're also home to 30 club sports and more than 20 intramural sports, which are other great ways to stay active, involved, and to meet students from around campus who have shared interests. And we have the Arts for Ohio program, which offers students admission to hundreds of events at no additional cost, including things like gallery openings, dance concerts, live music performances, speakers, lectures, and student-produced performances. We know that college is the time for students to explore their interests and to truly discover who it is that they are and what they're passionate about. And the best way that we can think to do that is by throwing open the doors to our events and asking students to attend at no additional cost. Living on campus at Ohio is another way that you can engage meaningfully with the community. We are a residential campus, and first year and second year students do live in one of our 30 residence halls. Something that's unique about the residential living experience at Ohio is that students as early as their first year have the opportunity to choose where they're going to live. Campus is divided into 3 residential greens, and each green has a little bit of its own flavor or personality. You'll often hear students talk about which green is best, and it's certainly certainly depends on what kind of experience you're looking for. As early as your first year, you're going to be able to choose which green you live on, which residence hall you live in, who your roommates will be, and even which room you live in. This allows you to find the community where you're best going to fit in, where you're going to find those friends that will stay with you for a lifetime. Our residence halls are also intentionally small. So at Ohio University, typically our residence halls have between 120 to 160 beds. You're not going to find high-rise towers or large residential complexes on our campus. We know that when you live in a smaller community, you can build stronger connections. And we think that it's important that you get to know your roommates, your floor mates, and the other people who live in your residence hall. Your residential experience is also supported by resident assistants who are upper-class students who serve as peer mentors during your transition to the university, as well as full-time professional staff who live in each building. There are more than 15 food and drink venues throughout campus, including traditional dining halls, markets, coffee shops, food courts, restaurants, and everyone's favorite, a food truck that roams around campus where you can get a quick meal on the go. Something that's notable about our dining program is that many of the ingredients used in our dining halls and in our restaurants and food trucks are purchased within a 30-mile radius of the university. This is important because it allows us to support the local farmers and growers in our region, but it also means that you're eating food that's sustainable and fresh and has been delivered with a reduced carbon footprint. Something that's notable about Ohio University is our commitment to sustainability, and this sourcing of local ingredients is one way that we demonstrate that. So whether you're here for 3 or 4 years or 4.5 years, we know that the outcomes that truly matter are the ones that allow you to go from here to the career that you're passionate about. We know that you're going to college to be transformed, but also to get a job. 93% of students who graduate from Ohio University are employed or pursuing further education within 1 year after graduation. As you're considering colleges and universities, you're going to hear and see a lot of statistics about these kind of outcomes. We rank among the best for these outcomes, and we're proud of that. However, we're more proud because we value the process over the product. Through our Career and Leadership Development Center, we take leadership development and career planning and put them together in a set of services that students can take advantage of on day one. Truthfully, there are some services and resources on their website that you could take advantage of now, including a inventory that helps you decide what major might be best for you or what career path might be best for you. We want you to be thinking about what it is that you're hoping to accomplish and talk about in those cover letters and job applications and interviews. We've prepared students for careers in significant company jobs, to start their own businesses, to lead nonprofits, and so much more because of how they develop outside of the classroom. Students also have the opportunity to connect with more than 260,000 living alumni around the world, and you'll often hear our alumni refer to themselves as the Bobcat family, because that's truly what it feels like. Our alumni network is strong, and they're always eager to support current students by sending them off with the appropriate level of spirit and enthusiasm to attend Ohio University, and then welcoming them back into their communities with internships and job opportunities when the time is right. We understand that attending any college or university is a significant investment for you and your family, and we're committed to being transparent throughout this process so that you can make well-informed decisions. One of the ways that we establish that transparency is through a program that we call the Ohio Guarantee Plus. The Ohio Guarantee Plus was the state's first comprehensive tuition fee and cost guarantee. It was approved by the state legislature prior to its implementation, so that gives you a little bit of a sense of what a big deal this was for Ohio University. For you, this means that we provide a fixed table of tuition, most fees, room and board costs that are guaranteed to you for 4 years or 12 consecutive semesters. We also provide the support that you need to ensure that you graduate on time and on plan. And if we fail in some way, we make that right. So if a class isn't offered in the sequence that you need, or you receive academic advising that leads you astray, we work with you to get you back on track and make sure that you still graduate on time. You also have access to alumni-only scholarships that help reduce the cost of select Ohio graduate and professional education programs should you choose to stay or return for a graduate degree. Because of the Ohio Guarantee Plus, you're able to rest assured that the value of your scholarships and aid remain consistent over 4 years. This allows you to have better conversations now with your family to plan. That also means that your scholarships and aid retain their value. So for example, if you have a $3,000 merit scholarship, it continues to cover the same percentage of your tuition and fees year after year, instead of putting you in the position where you have to figure out how to cover gaps that result from a tuition increase or a housing increase. What's up next is our financial aid timeline. So the free application for federal student aid was available on October 1st. We strongly encourage all families to submit this form. This is something that I encourage families to set aside some time to do together at the dining room table. You do need your parent or guardian's tax information to fill it out, and it can be a little clunky to fill out the first time. So I always recommend making a family event out of it to make it easier. In early December, we start making notifications of merit scholarships for students who have been admitted to the university. And then in mid-January, FAFSA will start, or I'm sorry, mid-January is the FAFSA priority deadline to be considered for all federal, state, and institutional financial aid. And then in mid-February, we start to release comprehensive financial aid and scholarship award notifications. So if this is something that you're thinking about doing, we recommend that you take advantage of this as soon as possible. Like I said, that FAFSA is available now, and we recommend that you apply to Ohio University by our early action deadline for full consideration for merit scholarships. So on the note of scholarships, students who apply by November 15th receive automatic consideration for our merit-based scholarships. And we do offer a robust menu of merit scholarships to students. So by applying by November 15th, there's no separate application for scholarships. There's no additional essay. There's no paperwork to do. This is one of my favorite things for students and families because it means one less thing on your plate. We take the same information that you use to apply to the university and use that to make decisions about merit scholarships. Scholarship consideration also applies to our test optional applicants, and we'll talk more about our test optional pathway in just a moment. We also provide upper class scholarships each year because it's important to us that we continue to honor the academic progress you make during your time as a student. And of course, we make it as easy as possible to bring in any outside scholarships that you receive from your high school or community organizations. This is an updated slide that shows some of our current tuition and fees to give you a sense of what it is that you could expect to pay. Yeah, but of course, we won't know the fall of 2021 tuition until later this academic year. So you're looking at our current tuition and fee structure. It's hard to predict whether that will change or not. We were able to keep it the same from last year to this year, acknowledging that families were in a difficult financial situation as a result of the pandemic. You do have a little bit of flexibility here to customize some of these charges based on your room and your meal plan. So for example, if you choose to live in a single room, you might pay a little bit more. If you choose to access the dining hall a little less frequently, you might pay a little bit less. So there are definitely opportunities for altering this a little bit or tweaking it a little bit, but this is sort of the standard package of what you could expect at Ohio University. So our tuition and fees are guaranteed. Oh, I mentioned that already. Let's skip past that. So as you think about applying, what you need to know about our application process, we're looking for students who have demonstrated academic promise, students who are engaging in a college prep curriculum in high school and succeeding. What you see on the slide isn't a checklist, but it is sort of helpful guidance for what we commonly see from students who apply to Ohio University and are accepted. We also know that now more than ever, students are coming into college having taken college classes while in high school, whether that's through club credit or college credit plus or dual enrollment. We're prepared to work with you to apply those credits that you've taken to your course requirements. And of course, we're always happy to work with students on an IB curriculum or those who are taking AP courses to make sure that they receive credit for the work that they're doing as well. Ohio University's admissions operates on selective holistic review. We receive more than 22,000 applications each year, and every one of them is read by people like Kristen and me in our office. We're looking to get an idea of who you are as a person and a student. We don't make computer-based admission decisions. We really do sit down from November through March and read every application that we receive because we want to get to know you and we're looking for reasons to admit you. On average, we're looking for students who are on or around this spectrum for general admission. So again, this isn't a checklist, but this gives you a sense of what our typical freshman classes look like. And this is the most current freshman class reflected on this slide. For some of our more selective or in-demand programs, there might be additional requirements to attend. And so depending on your major, we might be looking for things like an essay or an audition or an interview, and I can highlight some of those programs in just a moment. But I've mentioned our test optional pathway a couple of times now, so I want to focus on that. Ohio University was pleased to permanently adopt a test optional pathway over the summer. That was an easy decision for us because we value access to higher education, and we saw that removing the requirement for ACT and SAT reduced some anxiety for students who maybe don't perform well on tests or couldn't find a seating for the test. So moving forward, this is something that Ohio University is proud to embrace and offer to students. So students who apply under our test optional pathway still receive direct admission to academic programs, merit-based scholarships, and honors and scholars programs. There's nothing that we're hiding and saying that you need some test scores for some things. We are fully and transparently test optional. If you have test scores, you're welcome to submit them as part of your application, and they'll be reviewed just as we would review other optional pieces of your application, but you won't be penalized in any way for not having test scores or for choosing not to submit them. So some things that we do consider in holistic review would be the strength and rigor of your high school curriculum, your performance in that curriculum, your class rank if you are a school that provides ranks, your grades, GPA, and grade trend. And then, as I mentioned, things like essays and letters of recommendation are typically optional. We always like to see them because they help us get to know you. So if you do feel inclined to submit those, we appreciate reading them, and we'll read anything that you submit to us. I mentioned our more selective programs. So what you see up on the screen now is a list of our majors that often require some additional materials. And this is something where you can reach out to our admissions office, and we'll be happy to work with you to identify your next steps if you're applying for one of these majors, but it often includes things like a portfolio or an interview or a required essay rather than an optional essay. Our application process is fairly standard. We are a member of the Common App, so you'll find us there by searching for Ohio University. There is a $50 application fee, and if that is in any way a barrier for you to apply to Ohio University, you can let your counselor know that, or you can let somebody in our office know that, and we can work with you to get you a fee waiver code. And then we would also be looking for a transcript from your high school. Remember that anything you send to us needs to come directly from the source. So for example, your high school transcripts need to come directly from your school counselor. And if you do choose to submit standardized test scores, they need to come either directly from the testing agency or from your school counselor via the high school transcript. We also recognize that COVID-19 has impacted every family in one way or another, and this may mean you want to update your FAFSA after your initial submission, or it may mean meeting a certain deadline could be difficult for you. If that's the case, please feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help you with the application process, and we want to be as flexible and understanding as possible. Our application timeline is on the screen now, and I've mentioned our early action deadline of November 15th a couple of times now. Our early action deadline is a non-binding cycle that gives applicants priority consideration for direct entry to academic programs, merit scholarships, and university honors experiences. So this certainly isn't a commitment to Ohio University to apply by this deadline. It gives us the best chance to review your materials. But we also know that applying by November 15th may not be an option for everyone, and that's fine. We also offer a rolling admission process, and we'd hope to see your application materials by February 1st in that rolling admission process for a fall start. And then a little bit about what's currently happening on campus and in Athens. So in the midst of the global pandemic, the health and safety of you and your family and the entire university community is our top priority. We're currently not offering on-campus visits or tours, but instead we have a variety of virtual visit options, including virtual online tours guided by current students, sessions on financial aid, housing, and much more. We have a monthly panel specifically geared towards out-of-state students, where they could interact with current out-of-state students about their transition to Ohio University and how they found their connections during their transition to the university. While we look forward to no longer facing these challenges, you can find information about how we're preparing for the return to campus on our website. And as soon as we're able to offer in-person tours and visits, we'll be sure to share that with the broader community, and that information will be available on our website as well. And then these are some ways that you can stay connected with Ohio University. I recommend following our social media accounts because a lot of them are managed or contributed to by students. And so they'll give you a good look at what the student experience is like at Ohio University and in Athens. And it's a great way to get some of your additional questions answered while learning more about the university. So we hope that you'll stay connected and check out what's happening in our community. And thank you so much for being here. I am going to stop sharing my screen and we will take it from there.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. It was so nice to have you, and thank you, Stacy, for sharing all that wonderful knowledge with us about the university. We truly appreciate it. After you are done today, those of you who participated, we actually have a quick 4-question survey that we will send out for you, or send out to you, so we can hear more about your experience that you had. You can sign up for more sessions. As we say, we're encouraging you to do this, to get out there to campuses, to see them in the best way you can, and to hear from them, from those who know it best. So please do go to our website and check that out right there. And as we mentioned at the beginning, a recording of this session will actually be available. So tell your friends, come and browse. We hope to see you guys soon. But thank you so very much, Stacy. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
And if there are no other questions, I'm going to end this session.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, guys. Take care.